do you have to create jobs and get people back to work? What are your views on increasing sales tax to recover failing revenue projections?
Good evening. Thank you all very much. Pleasure to be here tonight. Basically, as far as things go, I would not encourage or support a sales tax increase at this time. Basically, part of the reason that we have an economy that is trailing and in poor shape is because we have continued to tax our citizens at really in ways that they shouldn't be taxed. Being a small businessman, I understand every day, I get up every day and, you know, the 25 families that work for us, they come to work with the idea that they're going to have security, that they're going to have a job, and I don't think that they want somebody telling them who their employer is going to be, how much they're going to be taxed. I mean, we need to basically encourage small businesses. We need to take young people and people that have ideas, who are entrepreneurs, and give them the opportunity to expand those ideas. That's how things get started. And by stifling that, you know, government does not create jobs, regardless of what people tell you. It's basically, you know, Indiana is leading the nation in job creation, and that's because it's a pro-business environment. We've cut the red tape, we've cut the bureaucracy, and we have made Indiana a very pro-business environment.
Thank you so much.
I have number 3.
Okay. State candidates only. The Governor Mitch Daniels has submitted a bill, which is presently held in the House committee, for all local government to establish a single elected chief executive to oversee county government, with a board that has not only legislative, but fiscal powers and responsibilities as well. This bill would first be brought to the public to decide which option to use. Do you support this bill, and why or why not?
The governor's local government reform. I do not support this bill. This is what one-party rule in state government will bring. The governor's agenda will pass with no checks and balances. The governor will do basically as he wants for the next 2 years. I do not support the governor's local government reform because my district has informed me that they do not support the plan, that they do not want to see the plan implemented. I ran for this office saying that I would be the voice of the 17th district. I believe I've done that. I will continue to do that. A single chief executive officer would be elected and most likely elected from the largest population area of the county. Small cities and towns have real reason to have concern about this inequity. I have no doubt that there are changes that could be made might streamline the financial process, perhaps combine some of the bookkeeping and the records, but it should be discussed through public meetings and perhaps phased in as an agreement as it is reached. I should also think that it should be a part of the process that it actually is a money-saving solution, that it will provide better service to citizens. Let's just don't streamline local government as a means of doing it and say that we did it. Let's make absolutely certain that the proposed benefits to taxpayers are proven. Thank you.
As I said, you know, I am a first-time candidate, but I have a significant amount of experience in the business community. I understand how jobs are created. I understand where jobs come from. I also know that, that having a very keen ear on what voters want to talk about. I do actually have several stories that already are out there of people talking and people calling me, and they're absolutely just so surprised that I actually called them back. And I just want everybody in this room to know that as a customer service representative for a very, you know, very long-standing tradition business in this community, we take great pride in our approach to that. And I would look at serving the public in this position as a state representative as truly an extension of my customer service skills. It is about you, the voters, and the taxpayers. It is not about how the state spends your money. It is about being responsible with those tax collections and listening to what you, the voters, want and feel are the best things for you. The government has a responsibility to do certain things, but it is incumbent upon all citizens to use their skills and educate your children, and also basically bring all of those things to the table so you can have a prosperous way of life. And that's what we all want, is a very good, prosperous life in this community. Thank you so much.
I'm proud of my record as a member of the Indiana General Assembly. When I first ran to be your representative, I did promise that I would be your voice in Indianapolis, and I believe that I've done that. I've been a moderate with no radical swings to either side. I've listened and I've responded. I've been accessible and responsive, responding to emails, phone calls, and assisting constituents as they interact in many ways with state departments. Indiana government from top to bottom must be rebuilt by Hoosiers' trust. Hoosiers want their government to work together to give them a better quality of life. A recession is not something that policymakers can undo quickly, but when legislators work together for a common goal, there are answers and there are solutions for our major issues. Putting Hoosiers back to work is the demand I have heard since early spring. It must be our top priority. We must find innovative policies that support Indiana's working families and our small businesses. Educated workforce brings jobs to our state, so we must make the education of our children another top priority. Tax increases are not a choice. Growing the economy is indeed the solution. I would caution you about one-party rule with no checks and balances on the governor's agenda. The last time that happened, you got the leased toll road and you got daylight savings time. I think that when we talk about raising taxes, I recall when the taxes were raised the last time we had one-party rule, taxpayers nearly revolted, and we had to reverse that. As we focus on the economy in the next session, let's build a new foundation for that economy. Let's invest in education, 21st century infrastructure, which the state sorely needs, and in research and development. Let's renew Indiana and create a better life for everyone who lives here. Not just for big business and large corporations, but for every working family. Thank you.
Thank you.